On.
Hey everyone, it's Maria from Creative Grids again, and I know I was just here at lunchtime, but I have one of the pattern designers that my parent company, Checker Distributors, sells her patterns, and we got to talking about using the stripology rollers in her patterns because she likes to do that. I found out you were going to be here, so then I don't know who asked you. Maybe you asked me if you could.
I think I asked. Yeah, I asked you.
Okay. Okay. It doesn't really matter how it comes about, but I want you to meet Tracy first.
Take the mic, maybe. It's not picking up. There.
Now can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So I want you to meet my new friend Tracy Perks from Rope and Anchor Trading Company. Did I say that right?
Awesome. Try.
Again. La la.
There we go. We just had a connection issue.
Okay, you want me to start from the beginning and say hello?
Just real quick, yeah.
All right.
But it probably a little
So
hard to hear.
we may have had a sound issue, so we're going to do this one more time. Hello from Creative Grids and Checker Distributors. So those that don't know, Checker owns Creative Grids, the Gypsy Quilter, Karen K. Buckley, and our newest line, Callie Dell, along with Cut Loose Press Patterns. And part of my job in Creative Grids is finding people that use our tools in their patterns. So let me introduce you to Tracy Perks, who is from Rope and Anchor Trading Company. I always forget the trading part.
Yeah.
I'm like, Rope and Anchor. Don't you know what that is? But anyway, it is a delight to meet you in person this weekend.
Yeah,
and I'm thrilled to have you here. So part of my job is to get pattern writers to use our rulers so that they promote us and we promote them, and it all makes for one big happy family in the end.
Yeah,
So
brilliant.
Tracy's going to demo kind of her process using our stripology ruler.
Yep.
And I cannot wait to see how easy this is because she tells me it's a piece of cake to use the tools. So, what would you like to introduce yourself a little bit and tell them a
Yeah.
little bit about you?
Yep, thank you.
Yeah.
So I'm from the UK and I live on a narrowboat on the Grand Union Canal. So a little bit
so cool.
different. Yeah. And I outgrew my space in our boat that we live on, and we bought another boat, a little boat, which we called the little boat because, and that is now my floating studio, and it's where I design my quilts and I do all my work and everything. So
I
it's
think
cool.
that is very cool.
Yeah.
I work in my basement. A boat sounds way more relaxing and fun.
Yeah.
Tracy, is your sister's name Lindsay?
My sister's name is Lindsay.
Hello.
Oh, hi, Linz.
And Patricia Webb says hello.
Oh, Pat is in my Facebook group. So
Cool.
I've got a Facebook group called Made on the Cut because the canal is called the Cut because it was cut through the countryside
awesome.
200 years ago or more
That is
now.
awesome.
So yeah.
So it just goes to show you don't have to live in Midwest of the United States or in the South or the North. You can be anywhere in the world using our tools and creating patterns for other quilters to enjoy. So this is going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, and I work in a really small space, so I've not got lots of space. I've not got a huge sewing room, but I love the extra large stripology.
I have that for you here.
Yes. So, and it's one of the tools that I use nearly every single day.
Okay.
Yeah. So, shall we get started?
We can get started. I've got fabric stashed under the table for you. Do you need this at all?
No,
Okay.
no, we'll
make this go away.
So my patterns, while Maria's doing that, my patterns are great for beginners. This is the spring quilt pattern that I'm going to demonstrate cutting out, and you'll see how simple and easy it is to do. So all my patterns are squares, half square triangles. They are, if you're starting out quilting, they're a great beginner pattern, and if you've been quilting for quite a long time and you want something that's a bit more simple to do, that's not complicated and something quick to make up, then again these patterns are great if you're sort of a more seasoned stitcher. So we've got the Stripology extra large ruler here, and I'll just pin that there because that's easiest. And we've got, in this particular pattern, we've got 3 different colours. So we've got the white, which is the background, and then we've got the dark pink and the light pink. So it's really, really simple. And if you're a store owner then you could kit this up really easily with some solids, some blenders, or flour it up a little bit. Batiks,
Glitter,
yes.
I don't know, anything
Yeah.
that you like, I think. Here's
Shall I
some
stop
samples.
talking now?
Yeah, let's stop talking.
No, me.
Which color would you like first?
Let's go with the background.
Okay.
Oh, so what have we got here then?
Well, your pattern was pink and white, so I tried
Yeah.
to stick to the theme.
Lovely. And what fabric is this?
I don't know.
Oh.
So part of working at Checker
Take what you've taken on.
is that if a bolt gets run over or gouged or gets dirty or it gets returned by a shop, it might end up with me. So they know that I do a lot of samples in that. So anytime they've got a bolt that we can't resell, sometimes it's just that outer edge that's dirty, or sometimes it just needs to be washed. So this is one of my white on whites that I have stashed in my office for when I need a background fabric and I need more than just a fat quarter.
Yeah.
So I could really look here and try to figure out who it's from, but I don't know. It's got little circles on it.
Yeah. That's
It's
lovely.
a very subtle background because it's all about what you're going to do with it that I'm excited for.
Yeah. So you said that in our initial emails, you said that if I cut it out for you, then you'll sew it up.
I absolutely will,
Yeah.
and then we'll post that on Facebook. Remember back when we were at Quilt Market and Tracy was here, and I'll tag you on it and all of that, so that'll be a lot of fun.
Brilliant. And if anybody's here now and would like a free pattern, then just come and help yourself, so you can see how simple the patterns are.
Take me to hold that so you
Yeah.
can do your magic.
Right.
And tell me what we need to move, if anything.
Just get the fabric sorted out. So again, this is my favourite ruler, and it makes, if you're a store owner and haven't got these rulers in your store, well, we call them shops in the UK, but your store, then I would definitely look at getting them. So let me just move these out of the way. I think this is my pattern with my instructions.
Yep. Let me hold that.
No, I just wanted to check what size.
Do you have it
I need to
memorized?
cut. No.
I have to tell you while you're settling in, I took fabric home for one of our newer rulers because, I need to make some samples. I forgot my notes. I'm like, I can't remember that. I put them together wrong. I had to take them apart.
Oh no.
So Jack the Ripper and I spent a night together.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, no.
One night.
Yeah, I didn't make all of them because I started to question it because I'm looking at it thinking, I don't think this looks right. And I was tired, so I went to bed and I got to the office the next day. I'm like, yeah, I was not right.
It happens. It happens.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
what I've done is I've folded got the selvage edge at the top. This is how I do it. And then I make sure that it's all nice and straight. And I pop the ruler, I just move this across now. And I'm going to cut out some 4-inch squares. And what I like to do is I follow the lines of the ruler. So you've got white lines along here, and then you've got black lines. So depending on what kind of fabric you're using,
You should be able to see something
you'll be able
clear.
to see something.
Okay, push. There you go.
There we go. I've not used this.
You haven't
before.
used it? Oh,
Let's
this
see
is a
this.
test then. Welcome
It's
to
the
our
best.
Creative
It
Grid
is the
rotary
best.
cutter. Do you like it?
Best.
Oh, it's my personal.
I use it all the time.
Okay.
I love the weight of it.
Nice and weighty.
My arm doesn't hurt anymore when I cut.
Absolutely.
Fantastic. So I've got this line here, and I'm just going to trim off this edge here. We do 4-inch squares, and what you do is you get your rotary cutter and you just
Kind of drop it down into the teardrop.
and go all the way along. I normally go a bit quicker than this when I'm at home, but
Oh no,
I'm not on camera.
take your time.
Yeah,
They might want to see that again anyway.
yeah. So I can get quite a lot of these strips out of this, and then we're at 20 there. Okay.
And that's for right or left-handed cutting.
Oh right. Okay. Brilliant. My sister's left-handed. Okay. But she cuts with her right hand. So I've just got this little bit here. That and then I've got these lovely, nice strips of fabric. I'm just going to move them and open them up. And all my patterns follow the same squares and half square triangles. So this ruler was an absolute game changer for me when I'm cutting out, because I'm not standing for 3 hours cutting a pattern out, and my hips aren't hurting, and my feet aren't aching.
Does the boat move while you're working?
Yeah, the
sometimes?
boat does move.
Yeah.
And
That would take some getting used to.
Yeah, and if another boat goes by, I stop cutting because it rocks the boat. So.
Literally.
Yeah, literally. It does. It's true.
Maybe you have to yell out, "Don't rock the boat!"
Don't rock the boat. I think there's a song about that.
I'm sure there is.
So I've just placed these down. I've got 2 layers on some of the rows. So again, I've just made sure that everything's in line. And this is where the magic happens. So I'm cutting my 4-inch squares.
And you have to stop talking when you're looking at numbers.
Yeah.
I know this from experience. Wait, I meant to do this, not that.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. So, and then you just take the ruler off. There's hardly any waste for your fabric, and you've got perfect 4-inch squares. So, and it's so easy, and that's just taken no time at all to cut those. So, and that's my first lot of squares.
Never let somebody cut a quilt out for me before.
That's the first.
This will be fun. This will be very fun.
So what did we have? We had 4, 2, 3, 4, 5. So for this particular pattern we need 12. So do you want me to do that again?
Yeah.
A bit quicker this time.
I think it helps to repeat what you just did. So anytime you're cutting with a ruler and cutting strips and cutting parts for a quilt, you have to cut some strips and then subcut them. So what she's doing is doing all of that with the stripology ruler, which gives you the grip, gives you the measurements and the lineups and all of that. And we need like 2 of these tables to efficiently do this, I know.
It's okay, we'll manage. I work in a small space at home, so
there you go. She's used to this, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna put my stack up here so we can watch it grow. It's super fun to see the patterns come in, because I'm always looking for something that we can use Creative Grid to make it, and she was more than willing because she's already using it.
Yep.
So it's great. So for those of you that maybe want to write a pattern, we have images we can share with you of the rulers. So if you want to use them in illustrations, use them on your packaging. If Checker is selling your patterns, I can then companion them to our rulers, the rulers to your patterns. So then you get exposure both through Checker and through Creative Grid's website. The Creative Grid's website is for consumers as well. So you've got people like my mom and my sister and, well, okay, not those two because they don't sew. But you get the point. If they were looking for something to use with the rulers, they see it too. And if they can't find it, there's a where to buy tab on there for ordering. If Tracy's selling them on her own website, that's an option. You know, there's all different ways to do it, but that's part of the collaboration in the industry, is getting you guys to use the rulers so that I can promote you and you can promote me. And oftentimes it works out really, really well because some of you are already doing that. So
I'm just getting this in line again and making sure that they're all in line
with the proper lines.
With the proper lines, but not. I don't use the lines on the.
You're using just the ruler to line it up.
The ruler, yeah. So. And you also do some, Creative Grids do some stickers as well, don't they? Some little arrows.
Actually, those are Gudrun's from GE Designs. So she uses them with her stripologies. And I've got a pack for you here somewhere.
I use them at home. They're brilliant, especially when, I might have cut that one out wrong actually. We'll see. Oh no, I'm okay. But I just love the fact that there's very little waste.
It's probably under here
when you're cutting out. And if you're new to quilting,
here's the arrows she's talking about.
Yeah. Yes, those are fabulous. They're brilliant.
I use them for a lot of different things.
So we've got 10 there, and we need just 2 more.
Okay. I'll hang on to that for you.
You hang on to those, yeah.
I had all kinds of lists to pack, and I did forget some things, but I didn't forget your stickers. And I'm always sorry I didn't bring a sewing machine with me on weekends like this, because I really feel like sewing when I go back to the hotel room. Yeah. At least for a minute, and then it hits me how tired I am.
You might find somebody here who will lend you one.
I don't think so. I mean, I don't think I'm going to look, because I am tired at the end of the day.
But you don't say.
How much
The ruler, I want to say it's $75.99 retail. So as a shop owner, your cost is less than that. Do not quote me on that price though, because I'm not very good at remembering. And every time we have a price increase, I have to relearn the numbers and all of that. But it's around that. It's around that amount.
so I can find it in
Checker Distributors. So you're in the Checker booth right now. The reps are at the tables behind the walls here, working with customers and placing orders and opening new accounts if that's something you need to do. If you do open an account this weekend, I think the deal is on this one. 10% off when you open an account, so if you don't have one already, and there's a 5% off your show order if you place an order this weekend. So say Tracy wants to order something. She wants to order it online. Well, that's fine, but make sure you talk to a rep to get your name on the list for the show specials, and then they will insert that show special pricing at the end.
Thank you.
Yep, 12
rows.
strips.
So that's all my background, all cut.
Isn't that cool?
No time at all. So, and then we've got a dark pink, which is the next one. Which is this one.
I think that's Wilmington.
This that you're using, who is that?
The ruler's from Creative Grids and designed by Gudrun Erla from GE Designs. And she's got 4 of them now in the line. That is the biggest one. There's a square that is a 12.5-inch square. There's a mini that's, I think it's 6 or 6.5 inches wide. And then a mini quarters, see, quarters mini that has 1/4-inch slits instead of the 1/2 inch like the rest of them do. That you can see them?
Yes, we have some.
Only samples that I have for on the table here. So when she's done, you're welcome to come back and take a closer look when she's done.
Have you got
And
a
I've
free
got
pattern?
No.
Sorry.
You're fine. And I've got the other sizes in my bag too. If you want to come back later or tomorrow even,
These
you're still here.
now, and this is nearly.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Most of the quilt cut out.
So I wasn't paying attention. Are we doing 4-inch strips again?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just so easy. I'm glad you got one that was bigger squares.
I'm just watching so you do the triangles.
Oh, right, yeah, we're going to do the triangles too.
Yeah, I just want to see how you,
They're pre-prepared.
just how you handle your ruler when you do the triangle.
Oh, okay. Well, there's a few different ways, but we're going to use a different ruler, not this one, for trimming. So, but again, we can use the mini stripology.
I have it.
Yeah. So. Just give those. Just move along.
How do you like that rotary cutter now after a few cuts?
I like it. Look, I'm more confident, aren't I?
Yeah. I know it takes some getting used to.
It's a big one. Yeah.
It's good because it's left and right-handed. The heavy weight is perfect for hand issues.
And even for non-hand issues, it helps your blades last longer and helps your mat not get damaged as quickly because you're not grinding into the mat with the force you think you need to cut your fabric strips.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah,
That's nearly all of the top cut out.
that was fast.
Yeah, it was fast.
Now what?
So, yeah, so you were going to prep some half square triangles.
I did.
Did
Here,
you do
hold
them?
that?
Yeah.
I did.
So I gave Maria some instructions.
So the light pink only comes for those half square triangles. Is that
Yeah,
correct?
that's right. Yeah.
So here's our 3 colors.
Okay.
Here they are sewn together. I brought the instructions just in case you wanted to show them something with that. But
Okay.
I drew a line and I stitched on either side. It's white thread, but they're all sewn.
Brilliant. Oh, I like this.
Tell me which ruler do you need for that then? I've got the
The
quarters and I've got the mini.
mini.
Your sister said she sure is left-handed.
She sure is.
So this is another stripology ruler. So it has the grip like the big one does, and the markings are a little bit different, but also similar. So if you look at them like this, there's a small square in the corner getting bigger. Same thing on the XL, small in the corner and getting bigger as you go. But it also has centering lines here. And if you're trimming hourglass blocks or half square triangles, it's got all these diagonals here. But I'm guessing you might have another trick because I don't want the seam lines going that way,
No,
cutting through. So
I'll show you.
there you go.
So-
Put this one out of the way.
So.
I do have a pressing mat. to
Oh
press
yeah,
this.
yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use the edge of this ruler, but you just use a straight edge ruler, and are we allowed to use the stickers as well? So in the pattern, there's a diagram that tells you how to make a half square triangle. This is how I do it. I do them a little bit bigger because my patterns are aimed at beginners really. But if you're a more seasoned quilter, then you make them how you feel is the best way for you, because there's lots of different ways to make them. So I sent Maria some instructions and said, could she sew these together? So they're, the squares are bigger than the 4 inches that I cut out, and my fingers don't want to work, so she the fabric is faced down, and she's drawn a line down through the from corner to corner, and then she stitched 1/4 inch away from each side. So now we've cut this down the middle, and we've got a half square triangle that's not trimmed yet. So the next thing is to cut these in half, and Maria, is my glamorous assistant, is going to press them open. So, and you press to the dark side. I think most of us know that, so it won't show up on your quilt when you start putting your well, we call it wadding in the UK, but you guys call it batting. And so I'm just going to cut some of these up, and then once we've got a few pressed open, I'll show you how I use this ruler to trim my half square triangles. And this is my favourite method of doing it.
See that?
No, I've got water.
So
I don't know what I rubbed up against. Knocked my needle minder off my thing.
if I'm doing smaller half square triangles, I really love the Creative Grids Perfect 5 ruler. That's one of my favourites for smaller
And
ones.
they shipped them to you.
So don't worry, we won't. You won't have to watch us
Okay,
do all of these. Right, you okay?
Yeah, fine. You know, it's a small space. I would love.
I know, but
We're
she
doing
doesn't
well.
Try to
small
put all of
space,
this-
So she's
I know,
showing us
I know.
how to work in a small space.
So
and that's
I
fine.
do want to tell you, I never ever recommend pressing on top of your cutting mat.
No.
Even with the wool mat underneath there, because the heat will warp the mat. I've got 2 of them, and I'm holding my breath that it doesn't warp my mat.
Well, we'll just
And
do
I
a
don't think
few.
it will. I
Okay.
know, but I want to do more. See?
Yeah, you just want me to trim them all for you, don't
I
you?
want this. I want this ready to go. No.
Yeah.
I have to trim them all.
So is that a table right there under the quilt?
This is a quilt. No, that's a stool.
Is that a table?
No.
No, it's a stool.
I was hoping.
And I think we'll be fine because this iron is not as hot as my full size Aliso. Okay, so how am I pressing?
To the dark side, yeah.
I know everyone's got their thing. I like to hit it with some heat to set that thread.
Yep.
I fold it over with my fingers and then do a little press. And I'm gentle. I'm not driving my iron like to make it go. How's that?
That's brilliant.
I'll just keep doing it.
So do you stack these when you cut?
No.
You can
No,
put
I
one
don't,
on-
because I'm using these diagonal lines here. So are we able to use the stickers or?
Yeah.
Cool. So I'll set the ruler up to how I want to
Okay.
trim them. So I thought I got the wrong ruler then for a moment. Great. So these, I absolutely love these. And you can reposition them, so it's not a one-time use only. So we'll go with a green, so they show up.
Oh, green matches your outfit.
And it matches my Wicked Witch outfit.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Oh. She told me she was all prepared with glitter today.
Yeah. So we are trimming to 4-inch squares. You'll see these are slightly bigger. And what I like to do is put on here where I'm going to trim down to. So I don't need to keep going back and
And that's part of
working
why
out.
Gudrun did those, so that you could set up your ruler for repetitive trimming like that, marking those spots.
yeah.
Oops. Almost went to the light side. Sorry. See, I can't talk and do this either at the same time.
So this ruler, you can this ruler here, you can trim a block to 6.5 inches, right down to a 2.5-inch block, and you can see here that you've got the lines that go diagonally across, and you can see these squares here to follow. So I'll show you how it works with trimming up. So we are doing 4-inch blocks. I'm just going to place that down.
Didn't sew all of them that your pattern calls for. I just sewed
Just
a pile
a few.
to get me started.
Yeah. So I don't know if you can see that on the camera. So we've got lines that are going one way, diagonal lines the other way, and the lines that are going up and down. So the first thing is to get this diagonal line in line with the fabric.
And on top of your block.
Yeah, and on top of the block, yeah. And then again, you just tip the blade in. So I'll just move that then. And I'm trimming up there, and I'm going to the next arrows along. Trimming there. And take those away. Spin that around. You could use your rotating cutting mat. And then this time,
I have it down here if you want it.
oh, it's okay. I don't use one
Then don't.
because but
I threw a rotary cutter at you today. That's
yeah,
pretty good.
yeah, it's good. And then this time I'm using the diagonal line here, which is the black one, and I'm making sure that the lines at the bottom and the top are all in line.
So visually, it throws me a little bit the first few times I do this, because I'm used to using a square ruler where I can go up and across.
Yeah,
So to get used to how you do it with the stribology, and that fly is going to make me nuts today. I'm sorry about that. But clever and fast and fun.
yeah. And there we go. We have perfect points.
Thank you.
And there's no extra tails like these before she trims. I've got the extra tails out there.
Yeah.
And those are gone
Yeah.
once you do that trimming, so then it's clean stitching.
So yeah, and yeah, can you see that's just the points are just lovely there.
Yeah.
So
Good.
yeah, cool.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching.
It's good to see you again.
And then you just got to do a whole bunch more.
Yeah.
And this is where I turn on Netflix or something like that.
Yeah.
What do you do to pass the time? Do you have TV on, radio?
I listen to music.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I listen to music.
So you can't do much in that boat.
No.
That sounds fun, though.
Huh?
Sounds fun to live on a boat.
Oh yeah, it's great. I've got a little fire there in the little boat, and yeah, so it's nice and cozy and warm in the winter. You see here, I'm just lining up the other diagonal line, but the second cut is a little bit more important to just take a bit of time to get everything in line.
So guys, that is Tracy.
I'm guessing Tessa probably didn't tip the camera so we could see that really clear.
I'm going to flip the camera so Rona can show you the real quilt. Hold on.
Take a look at what you're...
Sorry.
No,
So
you're
here is
fine.
the bag. Sorry. It is called the spring quilt.
I am going to tilt this so that we can see a little bit
the
more what
jumbo
Tracy's
big
doing.
bag, which
Yeah.
is
Okay,
super
there.
cute. Once
Right,
again,
so let's
the
move
design
these.
on Miss Tracy Perks with rope and anchor. She's fabulous. And she's over there working hard for Marie, cut Marie's blocks out. I think that's fabulous. We all
Way to
need her.
work it,
She's
right?
like the sous chef of quilting right now. How can we get her to do our blocks? I know, seriously. Anyway, super cute. Definitely do it for a quick class, down and dirty. If you want it for a beginner project, it's a great way to learn a block and half square.
And then tell me again, you're lining that back up on the lines
So-
on the ruler.
Yep, so I'm using this diagonal line this time. So when I cut the first one, I was
The traveling quilter.
using the white line,
Guys, we will talk
then
to you later.
trim that.
And run it. So I did this for unexpected happiness is found in every stitch. Woo woo. Bye.
and that's the end of the commercial.
Hey, I'm trying to pedal y'all stuff.
Yeah.
Oh,
So-
funny. Paddle or pedal?
Pedal.
Pedal.
on her boat.
Well, she does paddle, but I'm trying to pedal.
No, it's all good.
So this time you can see I've got the arrows here on where I need to cut. So I've got the diagonal line there, and I'm now making sure that I've got the line across the bottom and the line across the top. So I want this as a 4-inch square. And just hold everything in place. Take your time if you're new to it, and then just get rid of those, and there we have perfect
Beautiful.
points.
Beautiful.
Nice.
Try not to make anybody dizzy there.
You did a great job. Very good.
Yeah, take one.
It just fell out.
And then we just carry on. Do you want this?
So, no, you keep it. So for me, I would probably put another green arrow here. And I know it's redundant, but my brain sometimes flips shapes around, and I'll have a little bit of a hiccup if I can't see exactly where I want that raw edge to sit again, only because I don't use these as often as Tracy does. So when I am using them, I tend to overmark because I have to.
Yeah.
You need the visual reference.
I do. I need that visual. And the lines on there are very, very self-explanatory. She's doing a beautiful job. I'm just giving those of you who are like me, need a little extra help with this. Because I'm so used to using a plain square and a plain rectangle to do all of my cutting. This is a learning curve for me. I have to remind myself that it does work to cut side and side.
It
I
does.
don't have to go up the side and across the top. It will still be square when I'm done. The lines on the stripology help you to find your place with that. And those stickers are so much fun. Why not load them up?
Yeah, and you can move the stickers around. So
Yep.
if you think that you've got that in the wrong place, just peel it off
move it.
and move it. So they're not just a one-time use only.
And
You
sometimes
can.
I stick them back on. I think the back of the page is a little bit shiny. Sometimes I stick them back on the page
Do you?
and use them again.
That's a good tip.
Because I might run out, you know. I
Yeah.
work where they're sold, but I might run out. You never know.
That's right. Yeah. Just in case there's a shortage. Yeah.
So Tracy, is there anything else that you do as a pattern writer that might help another pattern writer get their feet wet, so to speak, with working with another ruler or working with a company like ours that makes rulers?
I don't know. What were we thinking in mind?
I know some pattern designers don't use a specific ruler. because they don't want to leave somebody out.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So I do like the straight edge ruler, which is you do. I think it's a 6.5 by 24 inch.
Yep.
That's the other one that I use. So if you haven't got the stripology ruler and you want to use just a normal straight edge ruler, then you can use that and you can cut it in strips, and then you turn your fabric around and then you move your ruler along. So so it's that these patterns are accessible to everybody. You don't have to have the stripology ruler.
So you make it easy to use what they've got.
Yeah, absolutely.
And for some people, the cost is intimidating.
Yeah.
Or they're waiting for Christmas or birthday presents or whatever. So I like the option. I like to give them the option if we can.
Yeah, and if you're just starting out in quilting and you're not sure if it's for you or not,
right,
you're not going to want to spend $75 on a ruler at that stage. But I tell you what, if you do, you won't look back
Won't be
because
sorry.
yeah,
Very true.
yeah. And also, there's different ways of trimming a half square triangle as well. So if you get a square ruler, is it an 8-inch square that you do? Or is it? Yeah.
Yep, we have one of
Then
those.
that would be good. Still getting used to this. To this rotary cutter.
So that is still in the packaging, but there's an 8-inch.
Oh yeah. So I'll show you how.
4-inch squares. Maybe you want this one.
Yep. Yeah, we could use that one. You don't have to stay.
I'm enjoying you guys.
She's learning things as she goes. That is awesome.
I've never seen that one. I've seen the regular
mini
ones,
one?
but not the mini one like that. Yeah.
And there's another mini too. That's a quarters mini.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, that's one that Nancy, her patterns needs those weird measurements.
Do they? Okay. Yeah.
And it may have taken a walk.
So you can use these or this to trim up. You can see there's a nice diagonal line across. So I won't open this up, but if you want to use a square ruler, then you will line up that diagonal line against your fabric, trim it off, turn it around, and then the next time you will line up your bottom and your side lines and the diagonal line, and then trim that way. So there's all sorts of options.
There's the quarters mini.
Oh, I haven't used that.
So it's set up to do cuts every 1/4 of an inch, which I had one open, which may have walked off with somebody. That's all right.
Yeah, we
It'll
do.
either turn up or it won't. I don't care. But 3 3/4, 4-inch to the white, or 3. Let's see, no, yeah, 4-inch, 4 3/4, etc. So that one is great for embroidery when they're trying to center from the center out.
Okay.
A lot of embroidery designs will say, place on the center line and trim this many inches from the center, left and right, top to bottom, etc. But that's the new one from her.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great.
So I'd love to say thank you so much for coming here. Don't run off if you don't have to. But I think we can say goodbye to Facebook.
Yep.
And thank everyone for coming. And if you're here at the show, make sure you stop in at the booth to see what's new at Creative Grids and the other things here at Checker. And if Tracy's still hanging around, come and meet her too.
Yep.
If you are a pattern writer and are interested in working together, I want to know about that as well. So everyone have a wonderful show. And those that are back home, hello everyone. We'll be back in a few days. And thank you all for coming.
Thank you.